So here's my dilemma. These rock walls are pretty. Cumulatively, you try to make the rocks all, in layers. Otherwise, they look all jumbled up. It's not a very good look. Trouble is, with rocks like this, they're just picked up off the beach. Now, if I wanted to buy something, you can buy things, but they're expensive. I'm just going to use what I have. I have a lot of these rocks already, but these are just, really irregular. When you get above a certain level, it's hard to make them fit. They get harder and harder progressively to make a level kind of a layer like this. So that's a challenge. The other thing is they're quite wide. Let me show you what I mean. So you see here, pretty big footprint. They're really wide. And if you're looking down that way, see how wide they are all the way. Now the way this is built, it's a good retaining wall because it'll hold soil back. And that's what I have to do in the back garden. But I just don't have that much room. I'd have to pretty much demolish the entire wall and then go back further into the fence. So what I have to do is really think this out. How am I going to make this work? I don't want to, like I said before, I don't really want to buy materials. These are the rocks that I have. And let's see where we can go with that. So this is the tight spot that I have to worry about. Between this post and the wall, or the existing, where the wall used to be very close. I didn't like the look of that very much, so I want to change it. But there's not a lot of room. There's a fence there. I could take this tree out, but I really don't want to. I'm going to have to do a combination, I think. I will probably have to demolish part of what I've already done here. I did this 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't think I was going to be tearing out the wall that I've just torn out. But because it was rotten, white ants, termites are a problem around here. They really like that timber, and every time I have the house treated for termites, the termite people keep telling me you need to get rid of these timber walls. I've got a bunch there yet. Well, only so much I want to tear out. So, anyways, this really had to come out. Like I said before, the I-beams are all sloping out. They were losing their grip on. They weren't holding back the soil, and the sleepers themselves were rotting. So I think this part here is a fountain, and I think I'll leave it. That's all concreted in there, and there's still pipe work and stuff that I can use, and I'll leave that alone. But from here, I think I will probably leave this first little part, and then further back I probably can leave that too. Here's my plan. I'm thinking this out as I'm talking here. Sleepers are 2 meters long. I can come out a meter here. I don't have to change any of this. I'll put a post, but then instead of having it continue on this line, I'm going to angle it in. I probably will have to demolish this part. And I'm going to have the sleepers go in a straight line for 2 meters that way. And that means altogether 3 meters, 10 feet. That puts me about here. And then from here, going up to the top, that can be all rock wall. Those are drainage from the shed up there. And there's electrical wires here, there's security wires. That's part of the problem for this retaining wall, so I've got to incorporate that somehow. I can't just knock it back because there's all sorts of stuff buried in here. It just makes a challenge. At the end of all this, the rocks will continue up in here somewhere. They'll come up to the top, kind of wrap around in a nice circle. Probably end up having to redo all this too. I had changed the grade of this ramp some time back, and the rocks are just sitting on dirt there, so that'll end up being changed as well. And there's all my raw material. All that rock there. It used to be a creek bed, which sort of worked, but not very well. So my mission today, it's going to be very hot today. It's already 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's 32 degrees C. It's not quite 90, it's 80 something. But it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to be too hot. I'm retired. I don't have to work that hard anymore, so I'll work until I scrape some of the soil back to about my 10 meters, 3 meters, 10 feet. Call it a day. All right, so it just went over 102 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about 40 degrees C right now. I thought I was finished for the day, but I can work under the shade. This is low stress level stuff. But what I've got to do is I still need some posts, and I could buy some, but I've still got some steel, so I reckon I could maybe make these work for the 2 posts that I need. And I'll see what I've got here and see if I can weld them back together or fix them, cut out the rotten pieces, fix up these little cuts that I made, and maybe save myself the couple of dollars, $30, $40 I'd have to spend for posts. These need to be 1200 long, and that's, I'm going to use 3 sleepers. They're around 200 high, 8 inches each, and that means I have to have at least as much underground as I do above ground on the posts, and that makes it 1200. So